Anywho, yeah, terribly sorry things have been going today the way they have. Um, I'm doing this last sign on, and because it seems like everything goes fine, right up until it doesn't. Then it fucks me up. But apparently they are actually still hosting me, so I'm gonna roll with it. Um, Again, terribly sorry I've been cutting out, but I'm back. Anywho, let me see if I can actually bring up that article that I was trying to. Let's see here. Reopen old tab. Where is it? I think it's right here. Maybe. Come on. Oh, I guess that isn't it. Let's see here. Reopen closed window. There we go. No? I guess not. Reopen closed tab. There it is. Alright. No! That's why. It's fucking paywall. Fucking fortune. Oh, let me see if I can do this. And if it works, it might. But some websites have gotten ahead of it. But let's see if Fortune is one of them. Aha. Apparently not. Okay. So here we go. This is an article that I was intending on getting into. It was mildly diverted. Let's see if I can get rid of this thing. I guess not. That's okay. Scroll up. I bought peptides with crypto. How my purchase helped fuel a $100 million gray market. Looks maxing economy. And let's see here. Got that there. All right. And this is by Ben Weiss. It was authored on June 4th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Hi, I'm interested in buying peptides, I wrote on WhatsApp. 2 minutes later, I received a reply from a UK area code from someone calling herself Louise, whose profile picture was a young woman with airbrushed skin. Louise shared a menu: testosterone boosters, synthetic growth hormones, weight loss medications, and more. Mindful of my expense account, I scoured the menu for a cheaper peptide, a term that describes a class of molecules that promise some type of wellness boost and include the proper weight loss drug Wegovy. I settled on 5-amino 1MQ, a substance that the one connoisseur later told me, quote, makes a lot more sense for high-level competitive athletes, not a first-time peptides buyer. Louise quoted me a price of $49 for the medication plus $60 for overnight shipping. She asked for payment, proposing the Chinese platform Alipay, or she said I could send crypto. Eventually, I sent Louise $109 worth of USDC, so Goldman Sachs knows all about it, a popular stablecoin whose price is pegged to the US dollar. I confirmed my shipping details. She responded with a heart emoji. 2 days later, in late May, a small package with 10 vials full of a bright orange substance arrived at Fortune's office from a facility in New Hampshire. I had successfully used crypto to buy peptides and participated in a booming gray market economy increasingly reliant on digital assets according to data from crypto analytics firm Chainalysis. Quote, "If this ends with you under investigation by a federal agency," my editor messaged me, "I will swear it was in the name of journalism. I won't tell you anything." Since the launch of Ozempic and Wegovy in 2021, peptides have exploded in popularity. In fact, the P in GLP-1, the class of medications to which the blockbuster weight loss drugs belongs, is short for peptide, which are chains of amino acids. But more recently, wellness influencers and Silicon Valley biohackers have begun to experiment with what medical professionals say is a more unproven class of medications, including drugs that proponents claim promote blood vessel growth, improve sleep quality, or enhance collagen production. The uptake has also coincided with the rise of looks maxing, a viral trend on social media where young men inject themselves with peptides or submit to surgeries to make themselves more attractive to other men. Even Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has shown support. Quote, "I'm a big fan of peptides," he told the podcaster Joe Rogan in February. "These drugs exist in a legal gray area. Some peptides are approved for medical use by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, others aren't. And many buyers are purchasing drugs sold only for, quote, research purposes, directly from manufacturers in China. Quote, generally, companies selling products to affect the structure and function of the body need FDA approval." Joshua Sharfstein, a professor of public health at Johns Hopkins University and a former deputy commissioner at the FDA, told me. Because of peptides' shaky legal status, vendors who sell the drugs directly to consumers are at risk of losing access to U.S. banks and payment networks, said Olivia Chow, an advisor at the crypto consultancy Zero Knowledge Group, who has helped companies in high-risk industries get bank accounts. Quote, "When you have these high-risk areas, the vast majority of banks, if you're doing payment processing of any of the regulated entities, and any of the regulated entities won't touch it," she said, adding that the card networks like Visa and MasterCard are especially risk-averse, unless you're moving millions of pounds worth of cocaine. Shiyeo Kong, co-founder of the blockchain Mega ETH, says this is precisely why peptide vendors are approaching her team. Quote, "A lot of peptides companies are already using crypto," she told me. "When they look at crypto, they're like, quote, this is the most natural, logical payment rail." A new report by Chainalysis, the crypto analytics firm, catalogs a recent explosion in peptide-related crypto flows. The firm found that during the first quarter of 2026, peptide vendors received $32 million in digital assets, a 700% increase from the year before. If the trend continues, Chainalysis projects that peptide sellers will do more than $100 million in crypto volume this year. For peptides distributors, crypto transactions involve no intermediaries. When I send USDC to Louise, banks aren't able to decline the transaction, but USDC is. And wallets on blockchains are a jumble of letters and digits, not someone's name or social security number. That pseudonymity is arguably behind Bitcoin's early rise, although crypto payments are more traceable than many think. Before it was shut down in 2013, the notorious online black market Silk Road asked buyers and sellers to transact in Bitcoin. Quote, "There's been a long-standing thing of using crypto to buy drugs, right? Tori Pastori, who's worked at a multiple crypto companies and now has her own media and events business. She used peptides and told me they were, quote, life-changing. As part of its analysis, Chainalysis found that a subset of vendors have changed course from producing fentanyl chemical precursors to manufacturing peptides. Quote, they just rebranded, said Sarah Graham, a senior intelligence analyst at Chainalysis. Quote, they pivoted to peptides because it's less costly. I asked my peptides dealer Louise, who represents a company called Shanghai ERP Peptide Biotechnology Co., Ltd., why her firm accepts crypto. She declined to answer. From late January to early June, Louise's company received about $3.6 million in digital assets, according to calculations from Chainalysis. The analytics firm found no evidence that Shanghai ERP was linked to the fentanyl trade. Quote, honey, I won't tell you anything, Louise messaged me over WhatsApp. I won't risk sending my boss to jail. Good girl. Prohibition Party. After I chatted about peptides with Pastori over a video call, she invited me to a peptides themed party she organized near Wall Street. She described the dress code for the evening as, quote, Prohibition Underground Speakeasy Art Deco Bioshock American Dynamism. And the event's custom cocktails included Tears Zempatini, the GHK Mule, and Oxytonic. At the party, I met Avery Haskell, the co-founder and CEO of Seedbox Labs, a startup that's developing an at-home service or device to let men test the quality of their sperm. Oh, God. Recently, he sent his dealer about $900 in stablecoins for a potpourri of medications. They included NAD+, which adherents say improves longevity, MOTS-C, which scientists have found increases physical performance in mice, and tesamorelin, a synthetic growth hormone. As we discussed the explosion of crypto payments for peptides, a former quant trader attending the party listened in and interjected, quote, it's the Silk Road all over again. The next day, I called Haskell's vendor, who says his customers included celebrities and claims he sources his drugs from a Florida university he declined to name. Quote, there is such a bottleneck here, the seller said, asking for anonymity because of the legal uncertainty surrounding peptide sales, and crypto is the solution at the end of the day. Goddamn right. Crypto is the solution. But this is an example of what I'm talking about with regard to government and banks not even being necessary anymore. And because the fact of the matter is they can't govern cryptocurrencies. They act like they can. They say they can. But ultimately what ends up happening is just a hodgepodge of selective prosecutions where they don't like you, so they put you in prison. Not because, you're doing anything that their next door neighbor isn't doing. It's because they don't like you. Our justice system exists to prohibit that kind of treatment. Equal under the eyes of the law. Not all that shit, right? Well, it's basically one of those things of how well you can afford to break the law. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw down with some music for a moment, and then we'll get back into an article, or I'll just talk one or the other. But where are we going to go? I've been wanting to play this one song, and I can find it. I just saw it. Damn it. Here we go. Metal Fest victors here on the D Shift. Alright. I didn't want to let that run too long, and I didn't realize that we're actually almost to 3 o'clock. I only had to restart about 7 times, but we're just about there. We might actually finish this episode. Deepest apologies to you who have listened throughout. I do appreciate your support. I do appreciate the fact that you retuned back in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I will guarantee you this. Next Saturday, assuming they actually let me host this show, again, which or they'll host this show again, then we will be back again, and I will do my best to either like get this cooling situation squared away on my desktop, or I'll just transition everything to another device, because I've got like 3 laptops here that are doing nothing. So the least I can do is use my hardware that I have available to improve the quality of the product. Anywho, well, thank you very much for listening. I certainly appreciate the support. If you do like what you're hearing here, you can hear me on Twitch, 12 to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, DJ E-Rock 23. And yeah, so you can tune in to me there. I'm going to talk to them about possibly expanding the number of times that I'm on here, but we'll see. We'll see how it happens, because apparently this channel is actually used by multiple people within the same group that have check marks, and I do not have a check mark. I can fix that maybe sometime. I don't know. Anywho, y'all have a fantastic weekend, and yeah, like I said, tune in on Tuesday, 12 to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/DJ ERock 23. But I'll be here on Saturdays. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all have an excellent weekend.